What up, world? R.I.C.H coming right back at you. Atlanta, we finally here. Outkast, Andre 3000, and Big Boy are being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm proud of them boys. This right here is history. This is one of the greatest moments in hip-hop.
Okay, it is a huge year for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Outkast, if you haven't heard already, is making some big history. The Atlanta hip-hop legends known for hits like Hey Ya, Miss Jackson, So Fresh, So Clean, and many, many more are part of this year's new class. They're breaking barriers in a lineup that's otherwise packed with classic rock icons. Outkast now joins 6 other artists getting inducted this year, including Chubby Checker and Cyndi Lauper. We sat down with Atlanta-based author and historian R.I.C.H to talk about what this moment means for the South and really music history in general.
They pretty much opened the door for an entire new generation of artists. And, you know, post Outkast, you get major artists such as T.I., a Jeezy, a Gucci Mane, a Ludacris. What Outkast did was they allowed artists to express themselves and to be creative. And if you look at Atlanta's hip-hop scene in terms of just how it compared to other cities, Atlanta always was more innovative in terms of sound. It never really stuck in one place. The artists always came up with different subgenres of music, whether it was trap music, whether it was crunk music, whether it was snap or futuristic swag. You saw so many different flavors coming from Atlanta, but that all stemmed from Outkast, because Outkast was a group that pretty much they embraced creativity.
And he is so right. That ceremony will take place on November 8th. And the big thing is that Outkast were really some of the first big superstars out of Atlanta. So all of these people that we talk about that came after them, they all really, you know, pay homage to Outkast. They started it, really.
They set a blueprint. They have spanned generations of people and even genres. People, like we were talking about, if they didn't necessarily like hip-hop or rap, they're what some people would call like a crossover artist.
Yeah. And they got in on their first year of being nominated. That's huge, too. A lot of artists don't get that.
When I heard the announcement, I just sat back and smiled. Because these two men have earned their way into the Hall of Fame. They put Atlanta on the map. They gave the South a voice when nobody was listening. They took funk, rap, soul, and artistry and mixed it up and made it spiritual. Outkast didn't follow trends. They created them. They never tried to sound like anybody else. They made everybody else try to sound like them. I'm talking Players Ball. I'm talking Elevators. I'm talking So Fresh and So Clean, Spodioti Dopalicious, B.O.B., Liberation. These records define eras, define feelings, define the culture. When I think about Outkast, I think about art that lasts forever. I think about two brothers who embrace individuality and made it look cool. And listen, Outkast is my favorite group of all time. But I gotta be honest, I think Run-D.M.C is the greatest group of all time. Run-D.M.C walked so Outkast could fly. They were the blueprint, the original architects of rap. Run-D.M.C and Jam Master Jay. They were the first to cross over, the first to turn hip-hop into global music. They changed fashion, they changed attitudes, they changed the world. They made it cool to be yourself. And when Run-D.M.C was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009, it was the first time rap stood shoulder to shoulder with rock legends. But this right here, Outkast induction, this is about the South getting its flowers. This is Atlanta standing next to Queens and saying, yeah, we belong here. Because Outkast did for the South what Run-D.M.C did for New York. They broke down doors. They changed the way the world saw us. Run-D.M.C took hip-hop global. Outkast took it universal. Run-D.M.C built the stage. Outkast painted it in color. So yeah, Run-D.M.C will always be my number one. But Outkast is my city. Outkast is my heart. Their music feels like home to me. They sound like Atlanta. When I think of Aquemini, I think of perfection. When I hear ATLians, I feel like I'm hearing the South grow its wings. And the fact that they're being inducted by Sleepy Brown, Jed, and Killer Mike, that's how you know God been busy in Georgia. Because that's family, that's legacy. 3 generations of genius all in one room. Atlanta built the sound. Outkast turned it into a movement. Run-D.M.C started a culture and Outkast redefined it. Both groups proved you can be legendary without compromising. And you know what else I love? The world finally understands what we knew all along. Southern hip hop is global. They were never afraid to be different, and that's why we love them. I still remember seeing them live down in Albany, Georgia, before their first album even dropped, before the Source Awards. They stepped on that stage with a presence that felt like we here. I knew from the jump, these boys ain't regulars. They special. And they never let us down. They kept elevating. Like I said, Run, Jay, DMC, they built the foundation. Outkast took it to the future. And now they both share a place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's balance. That's beautiful. That's evolution. From Queens to Atlanta. So to Andre 3000 and Big Boy, congratulations. Outkast represents everything that's right about music. Y'all did it y'all way. Y'all stayed authentic. And y'all never lost y'all soul. I'm proud, I'm inspired, and I'm grateful. Run-D.M.C will always be the blueprint. But Outkast, Outkast will always be a masterpiece. And now both of them, the architects and the artists, live together in the Hall of Fame. That's how you write history. That's how you define greatness. Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.